Okay, so here's today's video here at the GlockStore. I'm Lenny McGill, of course. This is Nashville, in the Nashville studios. And today we're going to talk about our redesign of our EDC Magwell for the Glock 17 Gen 5. You know, Glock, they do subtle changes between Gen 3, 4, 5. Sometimes they're major changes, they're obvious. But there are also some subtle changes. So we, have come up with our EDC Magwell, which is a very popular item, and we designed it with a built-in plug. So it's really one unit. Works great on all the different guns. But on the Glock 17 Gen 5, we found it wasn't quite as stable or tight because they kind of altered a little bit of the frame there at the front of it. And so we had to redesign it. And this is a kind of a follow-up video because we've already done a video on the EDC Magwell. And this is a follow-up video for the Glock 17 Gen 5 installation. So with the Gen 5, what we did is, like I said, we redesigned it. We now have a plug, kind of like our big mouth Magwell. And there's the corresponding EDC Magwell. And there's two separate pieces versus, like I said, a one piece, which we did for the original implementation. It still works great for the Glock 19 Gen 3, the Glock 19 Gen 5, all these different guns. So this is going to be the installation video for the Glock 17 Gen 5, which is a little different because it has two pieces, but it's basically the same concept. So here's a Glock 17 Gen 5 in FDE, and hence the new colors that we're introducing are FDE and anodized. It's an aluminum piece, so we anodize it, but the FDE matches up pretty darn nicely. So there's two things we're talking about here today. We've got a lot of new parts and pieces available in FDE, and also now the assembly procedure for putting this onto the gun. Now, the reason we like these EDC Magwells is because they're low profile. They do help improve the grip, which is one of the reasons I like it a lot. Now, you're not necessarily going to be doing a lot of speed reloads for a carry gun, to be quite honest, in a self-defense situation. Bottom line is, you may not even have an extra magazine when you're carrying concealed, but the concept behind the EDC Magwell is not only reloads, but it's also an index point for your grip, and that's one of the things I'm going to show you real quick here. So there's my grip, without the EDC. And it's good, I want to be as high up on the tang as possible in the back there, in the back strap, right? Okay. I want to be able to, firmly grip this gun with my shooting hand, but not too tight so that I tighten up that trigger finger. I want that trigger finger to be loose, so I'm about 80% here, I'm firm. And then, of course, my left hand is going to go right on top of the right hand and squeeze the right hand onto the frame. That's really one of the secrets to a firm and good grip that's going to allow you to shoot faster and more accurately. Most accuracy problems really happen with multiple shots and the gun starts to dance around in your hand a little bit because the grip is not solid. Just a little tip there, because I want to go ahead and talk more now about how this Magwell helps improve your grip. So first, let's go ahead and install it. First thing is, this gun is empty. There's no magazine in it, so I'm going to go ahead and double check. Make sure it is in fact empty, and you should always do the same thing when you're working on firearms. Make sure the gun's empty, have no ammo in the room, no loaded magazines close by, because at some point you may load it and not even realize it. Just like when you're driving your car and you're shifting into gears or whatever, you don't even realize you're in fifth gear already. So now it's empty, right? Okay, so there's two things that we need to do. One, here's the plug. We're going to install the plug into the back. There's a hole in the back called a lanyard hole. Not very popular here in the States, to be quite honest. I don't see many police officers using a lanyard with the lanyard hole for their duty weapons. In foreign countries, I've seen it a lot. Okay, so I'm going to take the two screws out. There's an Allen wrench that I believe comes with the package that will work for both those screws. And I'm going to slip the plug, and you'll notice there's a half moon shape there that's going to line up with the half moon shape of the interior of that frame there, the grip there. And I'm just going to drop this puppy straight in. Okay, and if I do it right here, let's get myself lined up so I know what I'm doing here. It just drops in like that. Okay, so there it is. So the first step we want to do is we want to take our barrel screw here, a little retaining screw, and I'm going to put it onto my Allen, and I'm going to just look in there, make sure everything's lined up. And this screw goes in straight. just like that. This screw goes in straight down, so let's see if I can get it started here. And then go here and just, I want to be careful not to cross thread it. Just let it, let it settle and let it find its spot. If you get too aggressive with it and it's not lined up properly, the steel of the screw is going to defeat the aluminum. So you may, damage it. So be careful. Make sure that, it's lined up and it goes in, fairly easily. It should not have, you shouldn't have to force it in there. And it should seat itself all the way down so that it is not interfering with your grip. You don't want it sticking out a little bit because that'll tear you up, all right? Because as you shoot it, there's a lot of vibration. And if you've got some soft flesh here on a piece of steel, it may actually not feel real well. It may look pretty bad too afterwards. So, okay, now, here's the hard part. Okay, and so stay with me here. Inside of the Magwell, there's a lip. So I don't know if you can see that lip right there. That lip has to correspond with this lip. But I don't want to seat it all the way because I got to get it back around here. So I want to kind of get it started right there, okay? And then I've got to bring it back around to the back here. So I have it about halfway down into that spot there. And then I've got to make sure I can squeeze it out here around the back of the frame. And like I said, it's a tight fit by design. Okay, there it is, okay? So I just popped it on. You kind of heard it pop over there, over the plastic. I want to push it down and make sure it's seated well, okay? And now I'll take the other screw and I'm going to drop it right into the hole. Again, this is a steel screw and it's an aluminum plug there. So I want to make sure it lines itself up and it kind of finds that hole, and I don't force it in because I can easily strip or cross thread, and that's how easy. It should be just fingers. Now, you want to make sure this one is tight, okay? So, because this is what holds the Magwell onto the frame. So I'm here, I've found some resistance, and I'm just going to give it another turn, and that's about it. I'm not going to, crank on it because I'll break the screw or I'll break the drill bit here, the bit on this little tool, but just finger tight, 10, 15 pounds of pressure. And that's it. And that's the installation, and it's on there solid. So like I said, when we did the one piece, we found it was not quite as solid as we wanted it to be. And even though, we've done it before with other guns, it works with a 19, works with the 17 Gen 3, the 17 Gen 5 wasn't perfect. So we redesigned it to have the plug there. Now, back to the grip and why this thing is so darn important. What you're going to notice is that my hand, I barely touch right here. I mean, but I feel it. So that's the index point, because I know once I'm there, I'm as high up as I can possibly be, and I've got the same exact grip. And that's really what I'm trying to do, is have it a consistent grip. Accuracy is really consistency. Doesn't matter how you get there, okay? I mean, it's really about just being consistent and being able to do the same thing over and over again, because, your sight picture may be different than my sight picture. But if you put it in a target every time and you're more consistent, you're going to be more accurate. So this is our new EDC Magwell for the Glock 17 Gen 5. It's newly designed. The concept is here. It's been here for a while. The color is new as well, the FDE color. You can see how it nicely matches up with this FDE frame. And that's one of the reasons we did it. We see starting to see a lot of FDE products around, and it's just a good-looking color. So we've got a lot of other pieces and parts available in FDE. We've got the new EDC Magwells available in FDE for all the different guns, 43X all the way up to the 19s and now the 17 Gen 5s, 22s, and all the other different guns. So bottom line is, if you're looking for a way to consistently have the same grip, to improve your grip, a Magwell is a good idea. I'm Lenny McGill. This, of course, is the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop right here in Nashville. I invite you to come down and see us because we have an amazing store out here. It's fantastic. And, you got to come. If you're in Nashville, you got to come to the store. Bottom line. Ask for me. I'll come out and shake your hand. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.